up, YouTube guys and girls? I am Shade, and today's the day that I show you the more advanced tutorial for sniping. Back from when I wasn't a beginner myself at it. The last one kind of just told you like where to aim, you know, like use first person, stuff like that, and that's just all really beginner stuff. So let's get more into the advanced one. If you're like an experienced sniper and you want to get more advanced, or if you're like a beginning sniper and you want to get more advanced, you know, just whatever works, let's do this. So these first two tips, like honestly, since day one, settings and looking at your map, knowing how to read it are so important. I'll show you my settings. These are what I use. It's not gonna mean like every person's gonna be super comfortable with them. I do know for a fact you don't want your sensitivity on like aiming to be too high or too low. For one, you move way too slow if you do like too much of one, and if you do too much of like the high, you're gonna be just going all over the place and it's gonna mess you up. That actually happened to me. I was just kind of like experimenting with some new settings and I forgot to change them back, and I was just like, my scope was all over the place, and that's what you don't want to happen. Knowing where your player or like your opponent is at helps a ton, and just being able to move with ease is another thing that just helps so much. So a big thing when it comes to like being more advanced in sniping is not just like the basic sniping method. You know, when you have your bead in the middle of the screen and you move your character until they're like in line, or you wait till your opponent moves with you to like where the bead's over them and then you shoot them. That's the original like day one GTA sniping method. The advanced ones are like knowing how to scope when you're zooming in on your scope still, and drag scoping. So the first one is like if you're, you know, moving and zooming in to like reach your opponent. If you find that opportunity to like where they cross into your bead while you're like in the midst of zooming, you press RT and you shoot them when you have that alignment. Sniping is like huge into focus, huge into timing, and precision. Those three things are like the key to scoping in this game. Now, drag scoping is when you take the analog stick, the right one, you drag your scope over and you like go over your opponent, and in that timing, like when you see that bead go right over them, you shoot. So I completely get that not every tip and every method of like other people will work for like you guys, or like just vice versa. But for me, I found out when I'm sniping, I don't always want to be zoomed in all the way. I feel like on the videos that I've seen of people playing and like doing sniping beach battles or like just sniping death matches, it's like sometimes they'll zoom in all the way, depending on like the length, of course. But I mean, like usually on the beach, people are like all the way zoomed in, it seems. And I mean, for me, even if they're like at a far length, I find out that if I zoom out more, it gives me more like headroom in a way. I can see my opponent better, and it's like they're not, if it's like they're closer to me and I'm zoomed in a lot, they're not like going out of my screen, and that makes me have to keep up with them constantly, which is kind of a barrier to me in sniping, because you always want to have like that one step ahead. It helps me a lot to just zoom out a bit. You know, they have like, they're actually going to be more in the screen and you can see them better. You know, whatever works for you guys. It helps me like not always being zoomed in all the way. I've even done it to like where I'm like barely zoomed in. Practicing that, I think it helps me, and like hopefully you guys a ton. Two more tips that I want to give you guys until the end of the video, and then I have one closing, just kind of like a point that I want to like add on to here, but the last two are going to be glitched. So this next one is going to be the glitched reload. I mean, I advise if you're going to be glitching, if you're going to be sniping from like long ways away, maybe not do this one if you're new to it, because then you have to rezoom your scope. That's like one of the disadvantages of this glitch. You're going to act like you're taking out a sticky bomb, and then you're going to go immediately back to your sniping rifle, and it automatically, you know, fills up your gun again. You don't have to reload, you don't have to wait for the little loading animation to go away. This one though, they make the weapon wheel pretty easy to use in GTA, I think. It kind of just all depends on how fast you do it. You don't want to do it if you're like, I mean, if you're trying to select the sticky bomb and you go somewhere else or something, it kind of can mess you up, so you kind of just want to practice that. But I mean, in the end, I think for close range sniping and stuff, it can be very beneficial for you. Last but not least, you guys, is the glitched easy way out. For one, you don't use sticky bombs. You're not going to keep like buying ammo or your RPGs. On top of it, I've had situations before when it's like I'm out of like RPG ammo and sticky bombs, and I try to like, you know, blow myself up or something, and I don't, and I end up getting killed. This method is more for dirty playing and stuff like that. And when you're clean playing, it can still work, just because like once you kill your opponent, I like to, you know, easy way out and reset with them, so it's not like I have that advantage of like already having my scope out. You're gonna pull up your interaction menu while you're in first person. The only thing about this is that like when you're pulling it up, it kind of like delays your character's movement just a little bit, and you're gonna go up to kill yourself. Sounds all dark right there. You're gonna look behind you by pressing down the right analog stick, and when you do that, immediately press on that and you'll easy way out. It's one of those things you have to practice and kind of get the hang of, just get more quick, but it helps a lot, even like if you're in a clean fight and you just want to like, you know, easy way out, not use your ammo up, or if you're in a dirty fight and you're like, oh gosh, like this guy's right there, I'm gonna just boom really quick. I'm gonna legit run through this one because my camera is dying. But anyway, the last point I wanted to make was outfits. You know, have an outfit that can camouflage you in the sand, an outfit that can camouflage you like in the night, forest, you know, mountainsides, and the city. It helps me a ton. I mean, sometimes I like to just do like the standout outfits, you know, and stuff like that. But I mean, if you're getting into like a more intense fight or something, or you want to be more like camouflage, those ones are really good to have. I'll show you some of my outfits that I use for that kind of situation. But besides that, guys, I hope you got something from this video, the more advanced sniping tips that I've come across through my years of playing this game. Until next time, I will see you on the flip side.